The 6th longest cave in the world. And we've got 148 miles of cave passageway explored and mapped so far. So we are only 5 caves longer than Wind Cave. We are still exploring, exploration still ongoing, so we add about a mile every year is our current rate. Over time, due to various chemical processes, those cracks were then filled in. So we have this layer of limestone and this crack filling kind of running throughout the rock. Everything else in between has dissolved away.
Thus creating boxwork. This is a pretty unique formation in a cave. They also have what's called frostwork.
Is the cave frostwork. Both of those are formed by the same acidic water. There's some frostwork for you guys right there. Most of that's popcorn, rounded shape. That acidic water still coming through, dissolving a bit of the upper level. One of the ways, there's really 2 main ways that a cave breathes. One is temperature, one is pressure. When you have a very small natural entrance, and Wind Cave's natural entrance, about as big as my head. Okay? We got at least 148 miles behind it. So when you have a very small natural entrance in front of a very big cave, it's changes in air pressure that are going to cause it to breathe in and out. So if you have a high pressure system moving through, lower pressure in the cave, that's going to force air in, it'll suck in. If you have a low pressure system moving through, higher pressure in the cave, this time it will equalize by blowing out. 2 different caves, okay? Very different geologically.
Oh yeah.
What do you see?
There's more written words about seal up in there.
What was it like to be the very first person to step into some of these rooms? What was the cave like back then? Question here? You know, there's not too many of them down there. Well, their thing sat for a very long time, until we had a very large geological event. The uplift of the Black Hills. And this uplift motion, this doming motion, caused this layer of limestone to fracture. Large cracks opened up inside this layer of rock. In fact, if you look around, that's basically what we're going to be walking through today, folks, is these original fractures from the uplift of the Black Hills. But that's not the end of the story, because these large fractures, these large cracks became completely filled with water. Interesting thing about Wind Cave, all 148 miles we've got explored and mapped so far, well, they're all located underneath just about 1 square mile of surface area. Imagine that, 1 square mile up here. 148 miles of cave passageway going every which way, right underneath our feet, up, down, and sideways. Truly, one of the most complicated cave systems in the world. Origin stories, but no evidence of them actually entering the cave at any point, no artifacts, pictographs, things like that. Things changed in 1881. A couple of cowboy brothers by the name of Tom and Jesse Bingham were riding right through that valley we walked down on horseback. As they passed the natural entrance, they heard a whooshing sound. Saw the bushes shaking on a calm day. As they decided to investigate, Jesse hops off his horse, he walks down, bends down, parts the bushes, and a big gust of wind blew his hat right off his head. Now, they were obviously pretty excited about finding this hole in the ground that blew out nice cool air on a hot summer day, so they hop on their horses, ride back to Hot Springs, and tell all their friends about it. Bring them out the next day. Jesse lines them all up. He's all excited to show off his new trick, so he takes off his hat, says, "Hey, watch this," throws it in front of the hole, and this time the cave sucked it right in. So Wind Cave does change direction. Sometimes it blows out, sometimes it sucks in. And he wrote his name sometimes all over the cave. Of course, we didn't know who this ZUQ character was. Alvin was about 16 when he did most of his exploring. What do you think his name was? He's got kind of a funky name there, right? ZUQ. Alvin McDonald. That wouldn't make much sense, would it? Well, we didn't know it was him for a really long time until we did know who Alvin McDonald was. He lived in the homestead up on the surface with his family in the early 1890s.
Great wildlife up above.
Fascinating below.
Yeah, what a great tour.
That guy was only 16.
Did some great exploring, just like we do. If you'd like to see more exploring, follow us.
On Facebook, Etsy, YouTube, and Instagram.
At RoadWard Bound, and check out roadwardbound.com too.
And be sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you.